Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to a chilled, relaxed pre-match Merry Christmas live stream. As I said, I'm joined by me and Spider. How are you doing,
Very,
mate?
very chilled out.
Uh,
Very
yeah,
chilled
how
out,
you doing,
man.
mate?
Yeah. How's it going, man? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, getting a little bit Mackies as well. Merry Christmas, mate. How are we?
Yeah, same to you, dude. All
Aye.
happy. Kids are ready to go. Santa's ready to arrive. Most of the cookies are left for him anyway. But yeah, all happy here, man.
Happy days, happy days.
Yeah.
I think Santa's just dropped me off at Mackey's as well. So
Yeah.
nice one, Santa. What a legend.
Thanks, Santa, mammy.
Yeah. But as I said, everyone, it's just a really chilled, relaxed stream anyway, everyone, as I said. If you watch it on the repeat, I really do hope me, Spider, everyone on the channel as well, wishing every Reds or rival fan a very Merry Christmas. As I said, Christmas is about, as we all know, spending in a bar. It's not about presents. It's about spending it with the people you love as well, and people most importantly too. Yeah, and it has been a very difficult year for everyone around the world as well, and it will continue to do so. But it's just all about those little moments that you spend with each other anyway. But yeah. Spider, all we want, me and you and all of us watching anyway. And a big update, Tom, as well. Merry Christmas, Tom. As I said, absolute legends. Thank you for tuning in.
All we want for Christmas is Tom.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I spent 20. How many years did I spend with you, Tom? I think Tom's sick of me anyway, probably. 3 points are must going into this game, mate. Especially any game. But I think all the Reds around the world, we come into this pre-World Cup. Obviously, we had the Manchester City game. What's your thoughts on the City game, mate? As well, obviously, I didn't.
I saw. Like they were talking about how dominant City.
Get out, Santa.
They were talking about how dominant.
What's that? Oh, I thought he had the spliff then.
It's like Santa, creepy old Santa's bringing the spliff.
Yeah, well, there goes the monetization there, anyway. But in a bit, lads.
I'm on my way.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, in a bit, Santa. Yeah. Santa definitely doesn't want to be on display.
Yeah, so like my voice is going to be a bit croaky as well because I was gigging last gig of the year.
So was it?
There'll be a couple I was leaking. I was very good. It was a proper theater, kind of. It was like it was in even in the theater. It's like being inside an old metal submarine kind of thing as it went all the way back. So pretty cool. But anyway, my thoughts on the City game. I thought we did pretty well, to be honest with you, for what we had available. I mean, Pep was going on about, how limited his squad was and all of that. And then you see the team that turns up, and that team could win the Premier League easily.
It's that midfield, wasn't it? Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri and Gundogan.
They were going up against Bajcetic and, Thiago was in there, and Elliot, I think, started.
Two youngsters as well in comparison, mate. Of course, like 15-minute period, but even as you said, mate, it's an experience and a learning curve.
Jesus, yeah, but like the lads held it come to their own. I thought Bajcetic was like a bit of a rabbit in the headlights for the first while, but then he kind of came into the game a little bit more. But I did some games are just too big for the young fellas yet, and they're giving it come to their own. Harvey will always give 110%. But he looks a bit tired at the moment for me. But hopefully he can get a bit of rest in between games and maybe bring him on for a couple of games rather than starting him in one or two, just to kind of give him that extra bit of a rest and intensity. Other than that, I thought, Thiago's passing was great. Fabinho came on and held a good account of himself. He played better than what he did mostly. And
it's a bit of a weird one for me. How did you gauge his game when he come on? For me, it was 50-50. He had a great start for me, but I think
dropped off a bit.
Yeah, it's very, as me and you've said off camera, mate, and I think every Liverpool fan, he needs help. He has done for the last, since Ginny's left, he's needed help in that number 6 role, because obviously Henderson, I think Klopp ideally does say Hendos can play the 6, and he prefers Hendo playing that position, but I think he's been probably him and Robbo, would you say, mate, in terms of Chalez? No, the two players that have probably needed that World Cup just to re-energize, get the new fresh legs into the system going into this festive period.
Yeah. It's just I think with regards Robbo, I've said it for the longest time. If Robbo wasn't the age that he was, he'd be completely burnt out by now for the amount of effort he puts into a game. Um, he's looked tired on occasions. I seen him over in Dubai for a little bit, and he looked a bit tired then. And it could have been the heat as well, and the low air quality. But the, he has looked a bit tired, and I feel all the lads did for a while. But man, once they upped their game and their intensity, we looked like regular Liverpool. Now, in saying that, I'm not going to judge anything. People are giving out about Nunez left, right, and centre, and then you go and you look at Suarez, where people were giving out about Suarez's drag finishing for the first, what was it, like 15 or 16 games of his career? Yeah, of his career. Do you know, he only got, I think he got 9 goals in the first 20 or 30 games, something like that, whereas Nunez is hitting the 9-goal mark in his first 17 in all competitions. So and 3 assists. So I wouldn't judge anything like that, because what's dangerous about Nunez and the way he's been playing is his positional sense. It's fantastic.
I was gonna say, mate, and chat, let us know. I'd be more concerned, I think all of us would be, if he wasn't getting in those positions.
Yeah.
Would you say, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the runs he was making, some of the intelligent side steps he was taking, some of the intelligent, some of the intelligent movements he was making across to get into a position there. The only problem was he's overthinking the final shot, and that's all it is. You could see that he's second guessing it before he's done it, because he had so much time on the ball. He could have had a hat trick last night. We'd be talking about a different game, beating City 6-3 or something. You know what I mean? So that would have been a completely different game. Or I think if he scored the ones that he scored, City would have been behind at that stage at the 3-1 that I thought it was going to be at that stage. So look, City is the Carabao Cup. It's a warm up game again for me coming into. We are the current champions of it still until it's gone, and I think that Klopp has got more priorities now this season on league's position and Champions League to worry about, and I think that's where his priorities lie, and so be it. And I think I would have liked to see, as I said in the game, that we would have gone as far as we could in the Carabao Cup and use that as build up games and momentum games. But that's gone now. So now we can take to account that we get a little bit more rest as well as playing games midweek. So we'll see.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And big up to everyone that's just tuned in. As I said, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Big up Jay as well. He's at E20 Zone TV. Have a lovely time with the family, mate. As I said, mate, and all the Hammers. It's fine.
Hang on a sec. Am I invisible?
Oh yeah, I'm smart as well.
Nice.
Big old Jake. Yeah, defo. It's one of my good mates anyway. One of the best West Ham fans I know, and him and Bill.
Right, lad.
The drop of a hat, they'll do a video, and I really do appreciate it, lads. As well as said, it's a great community I've built with this. Everyone, as I said, never anticipated anyone to be watching my videos, but as I said, everyone, hopefully have a lovely Christmas, and big up LV as well. Have a Merry Christmas, mate. Spend it with all the family as well, everyone. And as I said, we'll all stick together. And as I said, as long as we get 3 points, but as I said, big up everyone. Hope you have a fantastic time. Really do appreciate you dropping in this evening as well. If you are watching on the repeat, everyone have a fantastic, lovely Christmas. And chat, let us know, obviously, going into the Villa game or the festive periods. I've just got a little graph here as well in terms of going into the Christmas period, not just for Liverpool, but in terms of obviously the percentages in terms of the Boxing Day fixtures, the win percentage at this festive period at the minute. So you got Leicester, Newcastle. That's going to be a very good game. So favourites are Newcastle just. Crystal Palace 25% to Fulham's 14.3. As you can see there with Liverpool, we've got touch wood everyone and a 62.5% win ratio in the Christmas period Boxing Day fixture, which is quite mad, Spider, in it. And I think, I don't know if you can remember, mate, but chat as well, it was that game against Leicester. Was it the year we won the league? That was absolutely one of my favourite games I've watched in a very long time.
The 4-1, is it?
Yeah, when Trent was... That was probably one of Trent's best game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He was rampaging down that right-hand side.
Is that the same week that they were talking about us being burnt out from coming back from the Club World Cup after winning it? and we
Yeah. I think we just took it by storm, didn't we?
We won every game in the entire month. We won all the 8 games in that month as well. So yeah, it was fantastic. Look, we were a good opponent with a manager that knows us well coming up. But in recent times, I think we've had Emery's number of it.
Villarreal.
So yeah.
Last
I
year,
think Villarreal, I think his best time against us is with Sevilla. When he was manager of Sevilla, and that was his best period of beating Liverpool, I think, or getting results against Liverpool. I think that the kind of team and that style suited him the best. So we'll see how he gets on with Aston Villa, but it's a tough call to come in and try and take on a Liverpool side that's looking to push for top 2, not just top 4. So that's the kind of the goal of us on that side. With regards us, I think us and Arsenal, I think Everton, there's other maybe Hammers, so they've done well on Boxing Day. I think we call it St. Stephen's Day over here. What? I just call it Drinkmas. So
that can't be right, can it, Spider chat? Let us know. No way Wolves don't have 100. I'm guessing. I think this is Premier League only, so I'm guessing obviously with Wolves not being as active in the Premier League in recent times anyway. Obviously been in the Premier League for a while. But there's a couple of cracking games there, mate. Apart from obviously chat, let us know. And big up there, Shay, as well. Good evening. Everyone get your good evenings in. Merry Christmas, Shay. As I said, mate, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a lovely time with the family, mate, as I said. And any fixtures there, Spider, that you're really looking forward to? Obviously the Liverpool game. But I tell you what, that Arsenal game and obviously the J and the Hammers, it's going to be an interesting game to say the least.
Because Moyes needs a win.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've got a quick. Your thoughts on that West Ham Arsenal game, mate? I'm just going to quickly get up the Arsenal fixtures in a little second.
It's going to be a big test for Arteta on the break that they've just had with the World Cup. They've just lost Gabriel Jesus as well up front.
2-3 months, isn't he?
Yeah, he's up for quite a while. And it's just to see how they're going to cope and score goals without him, really. I know they've gotten results, but it was against, weaker opposition. I think they lost against United this season already, didn't they? And did they lose against City? I'm not too sure. Or was that a draw? I'm not too sure if they did. I don't know if you got the fixtures results there. I know they beat us away, but they have a tough second half of the season coming up if they don't have Gabriel Jesus firing on all cylinders from. Another thing that I have to say about that as well is how much people are praising Gabriel Jesus for how well he's doing at Arsenal, yet his stats are nowhere near Darwin Núñez's. So it's a weird one, man. Everybody's giving up with Núñez because of, I suppose, the price tag, really. But Gabriel Jesus wasn't far off that price tag. I mean, the difference in 15 million, 16 million is nothing in football. So it's just fans choose who they want to take the piss out of, really.
Yeah, it's all narratives, isn't it, mate? I think we've seen it chat in the Premier
League.
Yeah, for everyone's clubs in reality, really. And obviously, and I think I quite rightfully addressed obviously the thinking and hoping the young girl in the Etihad is okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you didn't see the news, just go on Twitter. So it was absolutely, quite frankly, disgusting in reality. So hopefully she's okay. But me and Spider and Connor, we spoke about that pre-build up as well. It is bloody mindful idiots. And that's not making an excuse at all. I think every fan base has got it, but as we more or less said, mate, and we on the pre-match show with Connor and that, it needs to be stamped out at every single football club in reality, in all honesty.
You're going to get these incidents from both sides of any club when it's going to happen. They're going to sit there and they're going to start singing about feeding the scousers. It's going to enrage other lads that are enjoying Christmas and drinking up. Things are going to get thrown. There's always things thrown back and forth. But the thing is, on these occasions, then something like this happens. And that's the thing about it. And it's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening anywhere from any side or either side. And that's the simple fact of it. If you're going to do the banter in the right way. There's no point in doing it about food banks or doing it about the worst part of any city's issues or whatever like that. It happens in all of us. All cities have it. We have it over here. You guys have it over there. Manchester has it. It doesn't matter where you're from. It's just that you can't use that as a rhetoric for thinking that you're taking the piss, because it's not funny. You might laugh with the rest of your 17-year-old mates sitting in that crowd, but you're not doing any justice to your fans. You're not doing anything like that, and you're only going to cause more rift in what happens. And things like this
it's
happen.
Hard enough to get a ticket as well, mate, to the away games or anything.
Yeah.
Like so clearly the club know exactly who's going to these fixtures, not just for Liverpool, but for every fan anyway. But a Merry Christmas as well, Shay. As I said, thank you very much, mate. As I said, Merry Christmas to you and the family, mate, as well. Merry Christmas evening, Hannah. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Hopefully the coding is going okay. Let us know how that's getting on. But hopefully you've managed to sort it before Kimbo. But Merry Christmas to you and all the family, Hannah, as well, and to all your friends and everyone. But yeah, regardless on that, I thought I'd speak about it because it's just a little segment anyway. It's sad that we're having to talk about it, but as I said, I think Liverpool fans and a lot of fans are quite right to quickly defend their own fans, but not in this instance. And Liverpool fans, as we've seen, just go on Twitter, everyone. Dad did tweet out, and obviously the Liverpool supporting groups, quite rightly so, have come out quite quick and obviously shown their support for the young girl and everything, really. But it's a sad reality that football, I suppose it has always been like that in over like the 100-year period or since the development of football. But I think it is quite frankly getting out far too out of hand at the minute. Whether that's down to the policing of the stadia or the match day stewards. I don't think, Spider, when you're getting stewards that are on 9-10 quid an hour in a stadium, as much as they try, but as you said, when everyone's boozed up and not right, quite right, I don't think the stewards get paid enough, quite frankly.
No, they don't. Jesus, that kind of money, they're there for a few hours a day. They need to be making the best possible wage to risk their own safety to do that job, because I know they're stewarding.
Such a difficult job anyway.
I mean, they're stewarding, but also at the same time, they've got to be like almost bouncers in a way to get there before, because the cops aren't going to see it. The cops are waiting downstairs and they're outside and that the thing, and they have to be called into the stadium, or they have to be called up from the office or whatever like that. And these guys have to try and maintain the safety standards until the safety of everybody until these get it. So they're not getting enough money at all. I've seen a lot of these people are probably volunteers just to get to see a free game as well. Yeah. So they don't even know that they're getting paid. That other people are getting paid. Only people that are probably senior there for years, and they're probably not even getting paid enough. So yeah, in that there has to be some sort of risk assessment taken when it comes to pay, with regards stewards and with regards anybody who's involved in dealing with the public in the stadium like that, because they're the front line really that have to deal with them.
Yeah. The clubs make, as you said, they make enough money.
Yeah,
they should be the ones, Liverpool and City and every top club in England or in and around Europe as well. It shouldn't be down to obviously, of course, the police are there to police the event, but even still, I do think there can be a lot more done by the clubs.
They could,
like, a statement's not good enough for me, mate.
No, it's not, no.
Like before the game, if you know there's going to be trouble, then pay for extra security or extra staff as well, and the state that. Like there's a load of amazing Everton fans out there, as we said. But I think the derby over the last 5-10 year period has got a bit more difficult for everyone, really. But big up there, big up Hannah as well. Not too bad.
Even with that, Jack, they could actually take a tax break. The clubs can, by creating more safety standards in the state. They can actually get tax relief on that. So spending more on the stewards will actually save them more money in the long run. It's just, they need to do that, So, but it just means that instead of taking them on part-time, taking them on a pay-as-you-go kind of service, they'd have to be taken on as minimum part-time to full-time. Yeah. So, that's just the difference.
Yeah. So, as I said, hopefully focus on the positive stuff as well now, everyone, as I said. As Hannah said, the coding can do one. That's the spirit, Hannah. I'm back in Liverpool for Christmas and off to see my dad. Oh, Hannah, have a fantastic...
Yeah, you doing a bit of C++. A bit of that old school Java,
Yeah, well, have a fantastic time with your dad, and I know you will anyway. But as I said, Reds, hoping we can get back to winning ways in the league. That's the 100% thing, getting in shape, as I said. And Evans, how we doing, mate? Merry Christmas to you and all the family, mates. And as I said, big up Eamons. Hope you have a fantastic time, matey. And but yeah, it's that's the thing, as the lads and the ladies have said in the comments, mates. It's the important thing, as we said, getting back into the winning flow. And me and you spoke about it with Connor, as we spoke about a couple of nights ago, chat. It's that consistent level of performance. Hopefully, that can really elevate Liverpool's game. And I think, yes, we did lose the game against City, but I think it even surprised Klopp based off his post-match comments, mate, for me. I don't think he even expected that level of performance. I don't think Guardiola expected that level of performance, considering that a lot of the players had been away within, obviously, with their national sides anyway.
Yeah, it was 90 kilometers an hour, Jack, to be honest, just the whole time. Both sides gave a good account of themselves. The commentators were praising City in their control, but what I saw was a team playing away from home and a team playing at home. And it was as simple as that. You could talk about whatever. Like when City come to Anfield, even though sometimes they try to grasp a whole, you see at certain points when Liverpool come to City and City come to Anfield, at certain points the away team does get a bit of possession play. So, whether it's for a 10 to 12 minute period at a time every so often, but the majority of the time the home team is the one that has most possession or most attacks or whatever like that. I saw a team that was playing at home had the possession, and I saw a team that was playing away and was counter-attacking and creating a lot more chances. The City got 1 or 2 good chances at the start, and they created more in the first 15 minutes. But after that, I thought that we gave a good account of ourselves and had more chances on goal. I know with the situation with Darwin's misses, but like as I said at the start of the show, man, look how many everybody was giving out about Suarez for the first nearly 18 to 20 games.
Why I've missed that of people, idiots being.
Oh yeah, they've been giving out about
Nunez,
saying like, oh, geez, he's not good enough. Sell him. Absolute extremists. There's a couple of people on my friends that I'm going to have to get rid of on Facebook, to be honest with you, because they're constantly negative, and I just can't handle that kind of negativity all the time because it's always worst case scenario.
Yeah, there's constructive criticism, and then there's just like out and out, just like
screaming off the top of the heads, this team is never good enough again. This team is finished, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? Just chillax yourself. Like, it just needs a small bit of investment, and the lads just needed a break, And so with this with Nunez kind of stuff, Suarez was dragging him across goals, trying to score, and he was missing them. White? Some of them were even going towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and he was dragging them across. And people were like, Jesus, why did they
just look at Haaland though, mate, as well. Yeah. Like I remember in the Community Shield chat as well. Like every talk, even Messi, Ronaldo, like if any player practically scored every single shot of their goal, like if Messi, Ronaldo, they'd be getting ridiculous numbers, wouldn't they, mate? Yeah. It's unheard of for literally a player to have like a 99 bloody percentile conversion rate. It's impossible.
The one positive that I took from the game, as I said earlier in the thing before most of the folks were in, but it is ridiculously good how his positional sense is in Nunez, because he was taking up positions there that it should put him in positions to score goals, but the fact that he's getting in there will scare the living crap out of most defenses going forward, that he'll get these chances, they'll try to watch him, but his movement is such that he's not like we know he's kind of tallish and he's kind of strong in his own way, but he's also kind of squirmy, so he can get away from a fellow who's trying to hold on to him, and he just takes up some great positions. He really does.
Yeah, and as Shay said there, and get to Hannah's comments on spot on comments as always. People just don't have the patience to expect Darwin to be Mbappe or Haaland level straight away. And that's the thing, isn't it, mate? In chat, as Shay said there, like we live in an era, especially where everything's documented in social media, and these players don't literally get a time to think. In all honesty, everyone goes, oh, of course, they're getting paid lots of money, but even still, I think the expectation levels are like. And that's the thing, if you are at Liverpool, and we've said this, chat, and I've spoken to Spider about this year as well. Yeah, if you come into Liverpool, whether you're playing in the under-16s, under-21s, 23s, of course, there's going to be an expectation level. And I get people's frustration. I think Spider does as well. I think all of us do. When you're off the back of a result like that, and it would have been nice if you just got a goal, but even still, mate, as we said, it was a great ball down that left-hand channel for Ox. And the fact that he, absolutely terrorized the City line when he's got a bit of space ahead of him, they're petrified, and we've seen that in the Community Shield as well with that little header and the little bubble.
he's got what it is, man. It's not just a pace thing. He's got what's known as a very deceptive stride. So the stride is what catches people, and defenders, they're always watching how players run. They're like, oh yeah, I can see him. He's going to go bounce, 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 and I can step in here. But with him, he's got like more of a gazelle kind of stride as he's running. So you just don't know where to step in, and that frightens defenders more so than anybody else. Torres had that back in the day. It wasn't really a pace; it was more of a stride thing, and that's what I like seeing as well. So he terrorized. He ran up that left hand side. I think he flew past the Kanji, was it? And that was, I don't know if somebody was in here, but he flew past them. And Ox actually, in saying that, I must turn around and say that Ox had a great game when he came on. I thought he was fantastic when he came on. He was getting into great positions. He won the ball back. He was taking people on. He was tracking back. I thought he was brilliant. It's as Jack would say, it's like signing a new player, isn't it?
Triggered a whole of Twitter. I just love dropping in because it just absolutely triggers everyone that on Twitter. and I know a lot of you chatted on social media. Thank God you aren't. Well, it is, lads. But yeah, and as Hannah said there as well, to your point, mate, and what Sherry said there, I remember the Suarez hate too. It was crazy. Yes. And I bet you'd even, I think obviously the Torres era Twitter wasn't as prevalent as it was today. But even still, I remember Torres gliding into that box against Chelsea, Spider, don't you? I think all of us do. And it was like, oh my God. Like, I remember being a young lad as well, legit sat in front of the telly with all my mates, and there was a couple of family parties as well. I was like, oh my. It was like, what have we got here? Like, special.
That was brilliant. Yeah, the step pass in his first goal against Chelsea. Yeah, it was fantastic. But it was, and then just sitting down just to do his arm cross thing, was brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, look, I don't get it. Look, imagine what would Peter Crouch be as smiley as he is today if Twitter was around when he was playing for Liverpool for those first 20 games and he couldn't score a goal.
Even my mum loved Crouch, even still. What did you think, Chad? What you thought on Crouch?
He was a great character to have in there. I just thought, he's going to get us a lot of headed goals. And every time I seen him scoring, I was delighted for him. Because he was such
I can't believe we dropped him for the final, mate.
Yeah, but
in the Champions League.
He was such a non-Liverpool player. And that was it. I think if we'd have started him in that final, I don't think Milan would have known how to deal with him. I really don't.
So, never have like that in the Italian league.
Because he can stop a ball, trap it. I never seen it. He should have started and forced them to change their game, and then when we brought somebody else on, they wouldn't have been quick enough to adapt, and then it would have been a different game, I think. So
yeah, it was that game against Aston where he got that hat trick.
All things, left foot, right foot, and the header. Yeah,
as Hannah said there, Crouchy is a cult hero. As I said, I think we sold him too early, even still. But it's the thing with Rafa, and obviously he had his arguments with quite a lot of players as well. And if you're Crouchy as well, I think all of us, if he got left out with that wasn't he like top goal scorer, or joint top goal scorer in that Champions League campaign, which is quite staggering, at all honesty.
That disgusted me with Rafa, and it kind of turned me off him a little bit in that point, because I knew he was kind of harsh in his own way and stuff like that. Was what he did to Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane was a
weird transfer.
It's like he was a boyhood Liverpool fan. The minute he saw that Liverpool were interested, he said, "Yeah, I'm going for it." And I think you give him time. He's a natural goal scorer. He's as natural a goal scorer as Michael Owen or Robbie Fowler, if you give him a chance and a good team.
Do you remember what age or chat as well? What age did we sign?
I
think we signed him a bit too late in his career. Would you say?
I think he was 27 or something. 20 years. Yeah, because he went down afterwards to go back to Spurs. When he was sitting. I know it was, but 6 months at Liverpool is not enough time. To do anything. Because he literally came in and was gone again by January. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. So yeah.
His debut was Aston, wasn't it? Where he got the goal. I think it was ball over the top and
that. He's such a good finisher. You just have to give him the right time. I just didn't think he suited what Rafa wanted. I think what Rafa did to Robbie Keane was as a result of the argument that he was having with the ownership at the time. He wanted somebody different, and they decided, no, this person's available. Now we're going to go for him. And that was Rafa throwing his ties out of the pram, saying, if you don't get, no, I want them gone. Not only do I want them gone, but I want them replaced as well. And it's just such a weird one, man. Because I felt so sorry for Keane, not just being an Irishman, but like he was our greatest ever goal scorer as an Irishman, and he did so much damage for us in the Irish team. He was great at Wolves. He was great at Leeds. He was great at
Like,
Tottenham. He was at Inter Milan before he even get to Tottenham. He was fantastic. So that just goes to show you. It's just he was just like it was unfairly done by Rafa then.
Yeah. Chat, let us know. It's no point as well. As I said, just chilled stream tonight, everyone. If there's one player that you probably wished could have stayed and done a bit more better, you'll say Ben Ayew. Now you still love as well, mate. Before he went to Chelsea anyway, because that was a weird one. But I think he was like an unsung hero.
The obvious one for me was Xabi Alonso.
Alonso.
Because I mean, if he stayed any longer, we would have won the league, I think, by the next season or so. I think if he stayed.
We've only just, would you say, mate, on chat, let us know, we'd only just replaced him with Thiago. I think with the level of player in terms of the passing ability, Xabi Alonso, is it that old style of Adidas?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, him and Gerrard done that Adidas advert where I think it was like the shooting clay pigeons or something.
Yeah.
And I think Gerrard did it first time, didn't he? Or Alonso.
Let's call a spade. Gerrard is a freak. Steven Gerrard is a freak of a footballer. It's ridiculous what he is. When you have Zidane and you have Pirlo and all of these people talking about him as nearly a level above him, these are World Cup winners and people that have played at the highest game, talking about a player who's pretty much been playing at that stage in an average Liverpool side for many years. And I just feel that's the one person I've always kind of felt sorry for in that kind of eras, because him and Carragher probably deserved better out of the Liverpool era that they had in regards to like major trophies.
Yeah.
So it's just it's just the ownership.
Even a young Xabi Alonso in that final, in 2005. How old was he then? Was he like 22,
23, something like that, man? Yeah.
It's mad,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
We got rid of him before his peak as well, which was that's nuts.
That's the thing, and that's where that's a good point, and I think that's what the Twitter doesn't actually understand. Like the fact that we had that type of player then in comparison, obviously we were great in Europe, don't get us wrong, 2 Champions League finals under Rafa as well. Especially considering that we weren't challenging for the league every single year. Like that Rafa at that level would get us into the Europe. And as I said, that's why you should as we all do now, cherish these moments, cherish every single player as we do on the pitch every single weekend, because you never know, could end up with the squad that Roy Hodgson could do in the next 10 years. You never know.
Yeah, but I think that's if you see Jose Mourinho when Jose, sorry, I'm mispronouncing it because he's Portuguese. You see Jose Mourinho turn around and he says that his greatest ever achievement was getting that United team to second that time. I think Rafa could say the same thing about Liverpool, getting up to 2 Champions League finals, winning one with the team, the type of team that he had, going up against the type of team that Arsenal had at the time, the type of team United had at the time, the type of team that Chelsea had, that were building at the time, So these achievements are massive. And I'll always adore Rafa for the manager he was, what he did for the city, how close he was with the fans and all of that. My only blemish was just how he treated 1 or 2 players. That was it.
Yeah, I think I think most managers have got like little disappointment factors to them, haven't they, mate? But done a great job there last year, didn't he, though, mate?
He did. He did, yeah.
Yes.
So, Tom.
Sorry, Tom, he's still watching. Darwin was disappointing. It's disappointed me so far for Ravens, 100%. Me too as well, mate. But as I said, as we spoke,
just finishing.
Yeah, it'll improve it. And I think once we get a proper midfield spider, then I think the attacking does its attacking for them. We get goals from midfield. If it's a Jude or someone that does step into that box as well, creates more space even. I think we'll be sound.
Yeah, I think he's playing in a lacking midfield side. I think he is against City the other day. As I said, his positional sense is fantastic. But once a player has positional sense, the finishing comes. He's just overthinking what he's doing with the finishing. He's thinking that he's not just going on instinct. He's going on thought and where he wants it to go, but not on instinct. And instinct is mostly where a striker's skill lies, because his brain already knows what a corner that goal is, and the instinct just follows. If he's overthinking it and he's trying to look as he's doing it and like that, he's overthinking it, and he's going to miss. That's just what happens. He'll come good. Don't worry about him. He's too young not to, and his positional sense is one of the best I've ever seen in forwards in the last number of years. Anyway.
Spot on. And Shay said Steve Finnan for me was my favourite Irish player at Liverpool. Is it probably obviously? Would you say who's been the top best players that have come from Ireland, mate, for you in terms of?
There's a couple of them, and one of them we can't really count because he was actually Scottish. But Ray Houghton was a fantastic player that came from Ireland. But he came from Ireland. Well, his grandparents did. But like, we got that. So you had Ronnie Whelan, obviously, you know, John Aldridge, who was Scouse but Irish originally. If you're talking about Irish international players and not just Irish players, if you go with just Irish players, there's been a lot. As I said, like the majority of the backbone of most Liverpool sides have been Scottish, Irish, and Scouse down through the years.
Yeah.
You know, with a mix of, that's what you used to see back in the day a lot more. You know, with a bit of Caribbean flair and John Barnes and stuff like that thrown in there. You know. But other than that, you know, like fantastic. Steve Staunton was a good player in these days. You know, just didn't kind of work out from at Liverpool too much. And he had 2 stints as well at Liverpool, didn't
he? Yeah.
And Steve Finnan was he just reminded me of Dennis Irwin for United. You know, he's from around here. He's still here, but he's just no nonsense. Just get the job done. Not very talkative. Not very outspoken. He just does it. Gives his instructions that he needs in front of him, and that's it. Just a no nonsense player. And we had a couple of them down through the years. Obviously, the biggest one to ever come out of the country, or the biggest two, was going to be Roy Keane and Robbie Keane. You know, it's unreal. So yeah,
it's mad that, mate. Aye, spot on. And chat, let us know. Obviously, you said it's chill stream anyway. We'll get into obviously the Villa game as well. And chat, let us know your thoughts going into this game. Most importantly, whilst drive down. Oh no, it's stuck. Not going anywhere. Absolutely lodged in my desk. It's not moving my headset. But it's get your thoughts in on the obviously Aston Villa game. Your score predictions as well. Big up Ricky and Luke. All right, La. I think it's Ricky. Yeah,
I think because we play a guessing game every time they come in. I think they should just come in and go, lads, Ricky in brackets, lads, Luke in brackets.
I think it's Ricky. Ricky's been playing pro clubs with me. We've been doing what Fabinho and the boys do before they signed for Liverpool. There was a thing on Twitter as well before we signed Fabinho, like, and even Jota, because Jota loves FIFA, doesn't he? But supposedly, there was superstition going around. Whoever was in that pro club session with like Fabinho and the players, then Liverpool go and sign. So it wouldn't surprise me. Imagine if Jurgen Klopp was on pro clubs tapping up a player.
Yeah,
the club would never know, would they? So you never know. Yeah, because Jurgen Klopp's got 2 lads anyway. So sod Blackpool Tower. They're getting on FIFA their pro clubs anyway. So hey lads, you want to join?
Yeah. Jesus, I love clubs is my game as well, lads. When I anytime I bought a FIFA, I don't play anything else. I don't play career mode. I never played anything like that. Not even looked at Ultimate Team. I remember I stupidly spent about 300 quid in the first week of Ultimate Team a few years ago, stupidly, and I was like, what a waste of money. It's just all, you know, it's just like gambling, but just fixed. And then but pro clubs for me, man, since 2008, really 2009 has been the thing for me. Oh yeah, like unbelievably good. It's just so good. Yeah.
We could do something like that on the channel if anyone's or like obviously. But definitely.
I have it on Xbox. Don't make me buy it on PlayStation 2.
Sorry.
Clubs is alright, like, but I'm just not buying it on the PlayStation just for clubs.
Yeah. But as I said, if you're tuning in, chat, obviously just chill, relax stream. Probably I did ask a question about 20 minutes ago anyway, just if you're tuning in now. One player, if you could pick that you wanted to stay or you thought could have done a bit more in the career, or like more or less a player that you absolutely loved and like a player that kind of went under your radar. We mentioned Peter Crouch. I mentioned Yossi Benayoun as well. Obviously that goal against Real Madrid all those years ago with the Bernabeu. And then we went there, I think a week later or 2 weeks later at Anfield and absolutely demolished. Hopefully that's what we do in a couple of weeks anyway.
I love it.
Oh, like
If there's one team that I just want to make mincemeat out of for once since the last time it happened, what was that, about 10 years ago, 11 years ago? Oh, no, when was that? Seems was that 2010, was it?
Torres, yeah, Torres.
Yeah.
Senna got the 4th goal, didn't he? That was the mad week. The
The 4-1 against United and the 4-0 against Real Madrid, wasn't it? Nuts. Yeah, that was nuts.
Definitely Alonso. Going back to my younger days, watching Liverpool, Steve McMahon, loved watching him and gutted he left. How good was he, Shay, and Spider? Obviously, I was very young. Steve McMahon.
He was outstanding.
He went to Real Madrid, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
He left. He made a free.
Did he leave Liverpool?
He left on the bonds. He left on the bottom. Yeah, he went on the free. Yeah. But you have to realize McManaman was also a boyhood Everton fan. So there was, so that explains that. So he was, he just had the chance to go to Real Madrid, and he did have a really good first season, I think, in Real Madrid, and he won that, and then he came back to Man City, I think, when he came back. But I think at that stage, what I've kind of always said about most of the players that have left Liverpool in these last periods, besides Luis Suarez and Xabi Alonso and maybe Mascherano, I don't think anybody else has gone on to have a really top career from leaving Liverpool to go to a big side, really. Coutinho didn't do it. The McManaman didn't do it. Owen didn't do it. So
I suppose Coutinho, the best thing about Coutinho, we spoke about this, mate, was he was on loan by Munich, and that season they went on and won the Champions League anyway. So football has a funny way of finding out which one to miss. But as you said there, Messi's won the Champions League. BA, it's definitely definitely Ricky's been on the pop. Have you seen what he's put?
I've seen what he's put. I'm trying not to say it out.
Yeah. That should be a banned word in our channel anyway. Ronnie Whelan. Ronnie Whelan was the best Irish player to Liverpool for me as well. And but chance. Going to this next game, Spider, and shall let us know. Would you like who are you wanting to see a bit more of going to this game, mate? I'm hoping, for me personally, I'm hoping Trent is okay. He was out due to a bug. I'm not 100% if he'd be available. You'd hope he should be.
I don't think he'll start. I think they might start Milner. I know Milner's got an injury now.
Yeah, Milner's injured, so
he's injured.
It could be potentially Joe Gomez.
I think it's Joe Gomez. You're going to see Joe Gomez, Nat Phillips, and Matip. Unless when is Van Dijk back?
Well, should be back. I'm guessing now. That's why everyone was on Twitter was going mad. The modern day Twitter, they were like, "What's Trent and Van Dijk? Nice one for not coming and supporting your team and sitting at home and all that." I was like, "Are you mad?" He's probably he deserves it, Van Dijk. A night off because he's the captain of Holland. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He's been one of our best players over the last 2-3 seasons. So let's give the lad a night off. But
these lads have not had a break properly in the summer. We've literally had, I think it was just under 3 weeks break from the time that we finished Champions League football coming back into pre-season. It's nuts. So it's some of these lads will give you a head of wobble because they don't have a memory past 1 week. That's the weirdest thing. Some embargo news I've seen everywhere as well, Luke. It's nuts, and I don't know what the hell that's about. There's some embargo news coming up or something that these ITKs are saying on Twitter, and I'm like, what are you on about? What embargo news? And it's something to do with Enzo Fernandez and Bellingham and all this kind of stuff.
Then I'll tell you what, chat. We are going to be doing laps of the garden if we do announce Jude Bellingham or something. But technically speaking, and a lot of people have already said straight away, it's only the same process that Liverpool do prior to a match day anyway.
Yeah.
It's the same rationale. It's basically as about things like 24, 48 hours. The press are only allowed to report certain amounts of news, as we know, in terms of their social media accounts and everything. So it's just a case of the journos obviously asking the questions in the embargo section, and they can only release it before or a certain amount of time prior to obviously the game kicking off on that given day. So If it's anything special and Jurgen Klopp goes, yes, we've signed Jude Bellingham, then fair enough. But it was just a basically same protocol as it would do if Liverpool were playing Man City last week, 48 hours before. It'd be the embargo section then, exactly. Not just because it's Christmas. So sorry to spoil everyone's Christmas, everyone. But yeah, no, it's you're good, lad.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
no.
heard him crackling there, and I just
I
realised
know.
there was a bone in my ear. It was folded, and when it came back, I goes.
Just having a little look at obviously Aston Villa's last game in the Premier League. This was their starting 11. As we know, Unai Emery does typically like to play a 4-4-2 formation or a 4-4-1-1 in terms of playing that holding role, number 10 behind the striker. But going to be interesting, Spider, in it, in terms of obviously similar with like Jurgen Klopp or any manager coming into a new club. And we've spoken about it, and we spoke about our chat as well. In terms of Jurgen Klopp stamping his authority on the team quite quick in the early stage of his career, you knew what patterns of play, or obviously his game did elevate season upon season, but you'd expect, when you mate with that team, even with those players, to very much, because he's a very structured manager in Unai Emery. He'll be sitting behind the ball looking to counter attack, won't he?
Yeah, that's all he'll do. He'll sit there, he'll defend for his life, and as he normally does, and then he'll look for a counter attack. My only thing is, it's the couple of them okay. Like, it's digging back. Cash was, they went out early with the States, didn't they? So I'm just trying to see who's kind of back and who's available.
Cash, Martinez won't be in goal, so you're probably going to get Olsen in terms of in the goalkeeping spots anyway. Danny Ings, fresh. Buendia didn't go with Argentina, which I'm not surprised, because was he prefer really of a top quality in their squad. But Jacob Ramsey, mate, I absolutely love this lad.
I think he's a good player as well. Yeah, I think like if you're going for more players, you'd be going for that age, and you'd be taking them off teams like Aston Villa. You wouldn't be overspending on players that are elsewhere in the world. If you are going to spend on one big player, then you want to get one hungry player to go with it. That's kind of cheap enough, and Ramsey would be a player I'd like to see at us. Making a dart up there and turn him into a left winger, pretty much. Rotate with Luis Diaz up that side. Leave because we know Bobby's on the way out. His age is coming up to it. You want to see Jota and Nunez going in there for the foreseeable future, and Bobby to rotate between games just to give him a break, or if there's an injury or something like that. And to be honest with you, I kind of want to see somebody else coming in for Salah's position. It's coming to the point where we're going to have to start seeing somebody come in to give Salah breaks in cup games, because he's playing a hell of a lot of games in his 30s, So I just don't see anybody else that's coming in for Salah in that place. But that's a team that we should be beating. And is it a team that's ready yet? Has Unai Emery had enough? It's probably benefited him with the break that we've had in the World Cup to give him kind of like a mini preseason. But did they mostly take holidays then, or did they do a lot of work? I don't know. I don't know what they did then, but we'll see. But I know a few Aston Villa fans over here, and they're quietly confident. They have been quietly confident since that 7-2 game. So So
don't mention that, lad.
No, I try not to mention it, but it's it's there. We were in the top 4 game, and they stung us a bit. It was the weirdest goals I've ever seen. Every shot was bouncing, was going towards the corner flag.
Every deflected goal.
Flag, it was just deflected back to the other side of the goal. It was just like, lads, you might as well just sit there with boards. And, like when somebody's getting a suntan, you might as well sit there with that for the ball and just leave it going to the top corner. You know what I mean? That's how bad it was. But so they've been quietly confident since then. So I kind of like rubbing their noses in it now when we beat them. So I want a nice little result away from home in a tough place to go, which is Villa Park. And hopefully we do the job on Monday, and hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully, mate. Quick score prediction. I says.
I think we're gonna see a score on Animal and Nunez, and I think Salah. I want Salah on the score sheet, but it could be one of those games where he mightn't score unless it's a penalty kind of game, and he might score. He might maybe assist once or twice more than score. It feels like that kind of game. But I'd say I'm going to go for the 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, Jack, get your score predictions in. You've taken my one, mate.
Oh, have I? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, great minds think alike, as they say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 4-1. I'll do one up on you. I go 4-1. Shay's
Do you know what? I'll give you the 3-1 just to be nice, and I'll go 3-0. And I'll just say, well, no, we're keeping a clean sheet. We're keeping a clean sheet, right? So I go 3-0.
It's Christmas. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. That's my gift to you now, Jack, right?
But yeah, I think I'm quietly confident, mate. That's a closing thought as well. As Shay's gone 2-1 there. Big up, mate. As I said, check out your score predictions in, but just closing point, mate. And I think it's really in terms of the importance of that win against Aston Villa when we won that league title. Could this game be as significant? Obviously, we haven't got a crystal ball, but do you anticipate it? Could this be now the moments or the points if Liverpool do get put in a good performance? Can you see this being the catalyst, in honesty?
I think a lot of games in the last few seasons have been decided on us playing Villa. I'll be honest with you. There's been a lot of things surrounding. We could have won the league last season if Villa had kept their clean sheet against City. You know, there's been a lot of games that have counted on us playing Villa or them being involved somehow. That game against Villa when we were down 1-0 until the injury time, and
that was mad. I remember what were you doing? I was sat in the kitchen.
That was the moment that I knew that we were winning the league, man. To be honest with you, when I saw that happening, that was it. Not going later on to United games or whatever like that. You know, that was the moment I just thought we're creating a massive gap here. Because there was a time when, you know, City were after doing really well in the game or something, and they could have closed the gap on us to something like, I think it was like 3 or 4 points at the time, and then we just took, because of that win against Aston Villa, we just created the same gap, and then they dipped the following week, and then we went on and just kept going until we were like 25 points clear. And it was, and I think that was a major turning point. I think a Villa game on you know, and any game the day after Christmas is always a good game for Liverpool. And it's very rarely that we drop points in it, but I just have a good feeling that it's a good day for us to play football, whether it's away from home or at home. And I think that we can go and do the job, definitely. So hopefully.
Yeah, spot on, right? And big up, Gary, big up panel as well. Get to your comments. Massive Christmas from me and Spider and everyone on the channel as well, mate. Hope you have a fantastic time, Macy, as I said, and as I said, with the family and your friends as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, if it is a 9-0, that'd give us one hell of a boost, as Spider was saying there. That'd put us all in a very good Christmas spirit anyway. Yeah. Big up there, panel. Evening, Jack and Spider. Happy Christmas to you both. So thank you very much for that as well, panel. Obviously, Gaz is his name. Big up. I'm gonna keep on calling you Panov, mate. Anyway, so if that's okay, I'm just so used to it now, mate. But a Merry Christmas to you and from me and Spider, and hope you have a fantastic time, mate. We're in the festive family period as well, everyone. And so big up there, chat as well. Well, Spider, are you streaming tonight, mate? Obviously,
I am. I'm going to be doing a bit of gaming stuff later.
Just shout out where everyone can find it, please.
You know, it's Games Massive. So yeah, so we'll tonight, because I haven't set up anything and I'm too lazy to do thumbnails tonight. That's the thing about streaming on YouTube, is doing these bloody thumbnails. So when you're on Twitch, you just have to stream and everybody's there and it just picks out the best scene for you. But yeah, I'm going to be on Twitch tonight, and I'm going to be on Irish Spider Guy on Twitch. So I'd like to see some of you over there. If Jack is playing a bit later, he might pop on with me. And we'll be doing I'll either be doing a bit of PUBG or something like that, and I might squeeze Jack into jumping onto his PlayStation and playing a bit of First Class Trouble if he's up for a bit of Christmas banter. So
yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm meeting the lads for like I say 1 or 2, but
everybody's not
on that. Stream at like 6 or 7, Spider, because
everybody tonight is not until 11 or 12 o'clock. They're all having a few beers as well, so I'll be well steamed by then talking to you guys. So it's grand. I'm not popping on till late anyway, so I probably won't start streaming until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock anyway. So it doesn't matter.
If we can actually switch on your PlayStation,
I know that's it. But that's the good thing about First Class Trouble when you're playing it, is that when you're inside and it's 6 of you there, you're all drunk and everybody's just walking past each other talking absolute bollocks. It's brilliant, like, you know. So it's good crack.
Yeah, no, but as I said, everyone, have a massive thank you for tuning in, everyone. And as I said, what day are we on tomorrow? Obviously, the game's on.
What happens there?
Yeah, the game's on Boxing Day. I might pre-record a little message or a little video tomorrow, so there'll be something coming out on the channel just saying another Merry Christmas to everyone, and best wishes to everyone, and just a massive thank you for Spider for all the support as well. Everyone that was on the channel as well, Jamie, Luke, Ricky, Connor, Doug, every single one of you. There's so many of you, so I really do appreciate all the support over the last months and years anyway, so as I said. But most importantly, as I said, Shay, take care, everyone. And a happy Christmas. Obviously, I'm just saying happy Christmas. And now I want to say... Oh,
yes, first class. He wants to see his first class trouble. Imagine social deduction between us, man. Who's the murderer? I don't care who's at the battle.
It's not me. Big up there, Abby. Merry Christmas, mate, to you and your family and everyone as well. As I said, look after yourselves, everyone. Get your Christmas pajamas on if you got them anyway. Or even not. Drink all the beverages, Jeff. Tom, as a blue. Yeah, have a good Christmas, please. Don't worry. Merry Christmas. Thanks, everyone. And Jack, have a great Christmas. Well, everyone, enjoy it. Get to bed early because Santa needs to drop off his presents for everyone. So, and hopefully Santa and Jurgen Klopp and the Reds can deliver Liverpool 3 points on Boxing Day, please. That's all we want. 1-0, 95th minute winner. We'll take it as long as we get all 3 points.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Spider, massive thank you, mate. And most importantly, everyone for tuning in. Or if you're watching on the repeat, have a lovely festive period. As I said, there'll be a little video out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Won't be a live stream, but we'll be back to the usual scheduling. There'll be a live stream on Boxing Day as well for the game. But gents and ladies, enjoy it. Spider, have a lovely Christmas, mate.
Yeah, too, man.
And everyone,
I'll see you later when we're pissed.
Oh yeah. Thank God I recorded this video at 5 or 6. But guys, have a lovely rest of your night. Enjoy it. Merry Christmas to all, and to all the Reds and Jurgen Klopp. A very good night.